Some of the content in this podcast does not belong to me and is displayed for entertainment purposes only. Step to it, bro.
The Goldie Gossip Podcast. Step to the gold. Step to the throne.
Recognize? I ain't lying. Nope. I ain't bullshit. Growing up in the hood as a kid, I was green. Growing up, bossing up, becoming a motherfucking king. Now I ain't rocking with no sneakers and no skinny jeans. You know? I was born that shit, I ain't sipping lean. Doorbell rings, they walking through the door. Green in the armor, nigga, fat Joe, lean back, lean back, lean back, lean back. Pick up the cup, they honor to the crack. Got a pair of chicken with cheese, and that's that all. I'm a kid, right? I'm a king, I'm a throne, successful, leave me alone. And I'm rising to the top. And you bet my grind won't stop until I'm king. All my life, nobody believed in me. Everybody put me down. Not the radio stations, not the record companies, not even the recording studios. But it's okay. I rise through the ashes like a phoenix through the ashes. As the time passes.
I'm the boss, time passes. No, I'm getting gay for night classes.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Now I'm gonna see how long this shit lasts.
kings and queens, welcome to the 180th edition
Okay.
of the Goldie Gossip Podcast. That's right. It's your boy, Goldie Himalaya. And my co-host, Rudy. Say hi, Rudy. And with that being said, guys, let's just do the flip. And there's the flip. Hey guys, right now, let's get into some unbelievable facts. That's right. This time, guys, I'm going to talk about the man who revolutionized the light bulb. You guys know about Benjamin Franklin. You guys know about Edison. But this gentleman, his name is, let me get my list. Lewis Howard Latimer. Lewis Howard Latimer. Back in the late 1800s, he figured out the filament that made light bulbs last, which changed the world. Right now, let me show you a short clip explaining about Mr. Latimer and his accomplishments, and we'll come back on the back end. Check it out.
A few moments later.
All right, folks, riddle me this. Who helped light up the world, but didn't get nearly enough credit? No, not your grandma with her 500 candles on her birthday cake. I'm talking about Lewis Howard Latimer, the genius who made Thomas Edison and Alexander Graham Bell look good. This man was out here making moves while history was over here acting like he was just the sidekick. Let's set the record straight. So let's take it back, way back to 1848, when baby Lewis popped into the world in Chelsea, Massachusetts. Now his parents weren't just any parents. They were literal freedom fighters. His dad, George Latimer, escaped from slavery in Virginia, got caught in Boston, and was like, oh no, they got me. But then Frederick Douglass and William Lloyd Garrison stepped in like the original legal dream team, and boom, George bought his freedom. Talk about VIP connections. Now, fast forward to 1864, Lewis at 16 decides he had enough of the struggle and straight up lies about his age to join the Navy. I mean, imagine a teenager today trying to fake their age, but instead of sneaking into a movie, he's sneaking into a war. Different levels of commitment, my friends. When he gets out, he lands this job at a patent law office as basically the office gopher. But Lewis was like, nah, I'm built different. Instead of just fetching coffee, he starts watching the draftsmen like a hawk. One day they blinked and boom, he's out here drawing like a whole architect. So what happens? The bosses are like, yo, my guy, you want to be a draftsman? And that's how you finesse a glow-up, people. And just when you think it couldn't get cooler, Lewis gets pulled into two of the biggest inventions ever, telephones and light bulbs. He worked with Alexander Graham Bell to draft the patent for the telephone, meaning Bell had the idea, but Lewis made sure nobody stole it. That's like your best friend coming up with a genius business idea, and you're the one who locks down the paperwork so some dude named Chad doesn't run off with it. And then he links up with Edison. Now, people love hyping up Edison, but let's be real. Without Lewis, Edison's light bulbs would have been more like dim bulbs. Lewis figured out how to make them last longer, so instead of burning out in 10 minutes, they could shine for hours. That's like upgrading your phone battery from dies after watching one video to survives a whole road trip. And Lewis just wasn't about science. This man had range. He played the flute, wrote poetry, taught immigrants English and mechanical drawing, and was out here helping Civil War veterans. So, next time you flip a switch or call your bestie, remember that Lewis Howard Latimer was out here doing the work. But did he get statues? Did he get a billion-dollar company named after him? Nope. And that is where we're giving him his flowers today. Drop a comment if you think history needs to put some respect on Lewis's name. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications, because trust me, we've got more hidden legends to bring to the spotlight. Stay lit, literally.
Back to the show. So that was a short clip of Lewis Howard Latimer. Every time you guys turn on the light, you need to give props to Lewis Howard Latimer. He was the one responsible for creating the filament that would last. Without that, they were still, in the beginning, when Edison and all the rest of them, they got the light bulb, but it only burned for a few minutes, and it cost a lot of money to replace the filament. My man figured out a way and even got a patent and even manufactured the filament that makes our light bulbs. Everyone you see, the traffic lights, the Christmas lights, your lights, my lights, none of that would be possible without Lewis Howard Latimer. And that is an unbelievable fact. The light bulb. Now, coming up next, check out my notes here. All right, I want to do a feature. This time, guys, I want to do a feature on Megan Thee Stallion. That's right, Megan Thee Stallion. Yep, she's been a moderate fan of mine. But right now, just to familiarize you guys, she has a new commercial for Dunkin' Donuts. I'm going to show you the commercial right now, and we'll come back on the back end. Check it out.
Girl Coach, aka Proteina, and it's time to grab those protein refreshers and start pumping. Reach out and sip. Yeah, you taste that? Okay, ladies, now swirl. Swirl. Swirl that mango. Get that strawberry. It's time to target the muscles that matter the most. Your sip muscles. And sip, and sip, and sip. Now let's bring it all together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All of these feel okay. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Our little X's gon' want you again. Hey, hey, the body is paying. Turn around and then you paying. Hey, hey, the body is paying. Turn around and then don't you wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All of these feel okay. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Our little X's gon' want you again. New protein refreshers, only at Dunkin'.
Back to the show. So that was a commercial of Megan Thee Stallion representing Dunkin' Donuts. But the reason why I'm featuring her is because we were friends on Facebook. I really didn't believe it. But she told me to hit her up on Telegram. So I opened up a Telegram account and I hit her on Telegram. Now, she told me that because when we were on Facebook, she said that everybody, including her team, she has a large team of people who manages her, and they can read and go through everything that she receives and everything she's talking about on the internet. But she told me, well, she asked me to go to Telegram and hit her because we would be able to communicate without nobody, being able to see our conversations. So I did it. Went to Telegram, I hooked it up, and we were talking. I've been sending her, copies of my or links to my podcast and my material. But you know what? I've been catfished many times, and I don't believe nothing. And I told her, I said, you know what? You've been following me all this time. I wonder if I'm getting catfished. Is this really Megan Thee Stallion? Guess what, y'all? She left me a very small voicemail on Telegram, and she said, "This is Meg. Now do you believe it's me?" And I know her voice. It was her. Man, I was jazzed. I said, "Yes, ma'am, I believe it's you. And thank you so much for leaving me that little brief a voicemail." Now, coming up next. Oh boy. All right, guys. I want to do another feature on the Crocodile Hunter. The Crocodile Hunter. Steve Irwin. I love Steve. It's tragic how he passed away. And right now, I want to show you guys a brief clip on his tragic passing. Steve Irwin, the Crocodile Hunter. Check it out.
September 4th, 2006. Steve Irwin, the Crocodile Hunter, was out filming, but the day was off. The weather, gloomy. The lighting, terrible. And the animals, hard to find. So he turned his attention to a side project, his daughter Bindi, the jungle girl. While snorkeling, Steve spotted something massive beneath him, a short-tailed stingray. He turned to his cameraman, Justin Lyon. How should we approach it? Justin gave a suggestion, and Steve followed. Mask back on, he swam closer, ready to film. Picture this, the stingray gliding below, the sun behind Steve, casting his shadow over the water. Suddenly, the stingray's tail shot up, and then hundreds of strikes in just seconds, straight into Steve's chest. Justin dropped the camera and rushed him onto the boat. Steve's words, barely audible, chilling. "I'm dying." By the time they reached help, it was too late. The barb of a short-tailed stingray is no ordinary weapon, serrated, venomous, over a foot long, hidden in the middle of its tail. And in Steve's case, it struck his heart. Experts believe the stingray felt threatened. From above, Steve's shadow may have looked like a shark, a natural predator. Feeling cornered, it defended itself. Some say it might have been provoked. Steve was filming Ocean's Deadliest, trying to capture a dramatic scene. But nature doesn't care about cameras. Even the bravest can be vulnerable. Curiosity is powerful, but respect and caution are even stronger. Steve Irwin lived his life with passion, but this tragedy reminds us the wild is unpredictable, and we are always guests in its realm.
Back to the show. So that was the story, the tragic story of Steve Irwin, the Crocodile Hunter, and how he tragically died. His daughter, Bindi, she never, she dropped out of the limelight. Her show was canceled as a result of the accident. But his son took up the torch. He even reminds you of him. They're both Australian, so they have that accent. And he's just as passionate about animals as his pops was. I commend him for that, for carrying on the torch for Steve Irwin, the Crocodile Hunter. That's all I got for you tonight, guys. On behalf of me and my co-host, Rudy, we like to say be good to yourselves, be good to everybody else. Always believe in yourself and never give up and ride it till the wheels fall off. We're going to close this out with another Goldie Himalaya video. Love you guys, and we will see you next podcast. Peace.